What is up, everybody? It is me, DevilNeverCry, and we are back with the DMC5 Special Edition. Some more info for you. Doesn't it feel good to say DMC5 Special Edition now that it's been announced? That's besides the point. Capcom dropped a trailer for the game recently. It was a gameplay trailer, so there wasn't too much to talk about in regards to features, which is what this video is on today, considering Capcom have dropped a few features in regards to what we can expect for DMC5 SE. As always, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with anything and everything Devil May Cry, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when new content drops. The first and foremost, I want to talk about the main, well, not the main feature, but the first feature, the most obvious one, Playable Virgil. Those of you who are fans of the series know that Playable Virgil was often relegated to the special edition of the games, for example DMC3 and DMC4. Here he is in DMC5 playable in all his official glory. You don't have to depend on jank PC mods to somehow make him work. What weapons he has, what his moveset is, we're unsure as we haven't got a full look at him, but he seems to have some shenanigans going on there with V, which I'm hoping they'll touch upon at a later point. Next up, the other feature that I want to talk about is Turbo Mode. Those of you who don't know, this literally turns up the game's speed 20%. That means everything happens faster, enemies attack faster, you attack faster, you have to put your inputs in faster. It increases the amount of actions you're able to do per minute, makes things more flashy, makes things more frenetic and fast-paced. Awesome. Again, this was something that was relegated to the special edition for consoles. I think PC had Turbo Mode available for the vanilla version of DMC4, but don't quote me on that. That's awesome though. This again was available if you had the standard copy of DMC5 on PC via a mod, but it's cool to get it in an official capacity here. Next up, Legendary Dark Knight Mode, or Legendary Dark Knight Mode, LDK Mode as people like to call it. This essentially is taken from DMC4, and that is a mode where you are pitted against a copious amount of enemies, as Capcom themselves put it. It basically means you'll walk into a room and then boom, all of a sudden there'll be 20 enemies in a room, and yeah, pretty much good luck. You got to find a way to take them all down. It's a cool little mode. Again, it mixes things up as opposed to only dealing with a handful of enemies at a time. You're literally just thrown in at them like it's a Dynasty Warriors game, and it makes for a nice change of pace, and I'm glad that they included it in DMC5 Special Edition. The last feature I want to discuss is ray tracing. Now, for those of you that have been following the discussion with next-gen consoles and PCs at the moment, and I think graphics cards and whatnot, you'll know, or you'll have heard of ray tracing. To put it bluntly, I'm not really much of a PC specialist here. It allows for more realistic simulations of light and things like reflections, which again is pretty awesome. It makes your game look a whole lot better, next-gen, so to speak. But the main factor I want to talk about is the fact that you're going to be given choices as to how you want to play DMC5 SE. You can either play the game at 4K, 30 frames a second with ray tracing enabled, 1080p, 60 frames a second with ray tracing enabled, or no ray tracing whatsoever, 1080p, with frame rates of up to 120 frames per second, which again, for a console, is absolutely fantastic. I don't know if anybody has played a DMC game at over 60 frames a second, but it's almost surreal how smooth it looks and plays, which, to be honest, it goes for a lot of fast-paced, frenetic games that, allow for frame rates of over 60 frames a second, which again is fairly common on PC. But this is an awesome feature to have on console. I think it's a feature that a lot of action games, to be honest, should offer, whether you want to prioritize frame rates or whether you want to prioritize things like resolution and basically graphical capabilities. But that is essentially going to be it for this video. If Capcom do announce more news, of course, it'll be covered on the channel, which again is why I do say subscribe, that way you do not miss out. With all of that said and done though, it has been me, DevilNeverCry. I would like to thank all of you for watching, and as always, I'll see you all next video.